Greetings, Raider Nation. It's your boy Raiderdamus here once again. Sorry for the delay on this. I took last week off for Thanksgiving holiday. Work got really busy. I had a lot going on. And I also kind of just didn't want to talk about the Chiefs. So I took last week off just for a little break. But we are back now. And considering how that particular game against the Chiefs went, I would say it's a break well spent. This week, though, the Raiders are back in action at home against a team they've seen a lot of in recent seasons. It seems like they play the Titans every year. So we're back at it against the Titans, and the great Raiderdamus is back at it as well. So I just want to let you guys know, the great Raiderdamus, did in fact make the pilgrimage to Nissan Stadium for the Raiders game there a few years ago. And I can tell you with no hesitation whatsoever, the stadium was at least 30% full of Raider fans. The nation is everywhere. Raider Nation is worldwide, nationwide. It's all over the place. Raider fans turned out in force that day. The Raiders won the game. The stadium was loudly cheering for them. It was a party. It was a great time. Titan fans were resentful, but they were, as usual, resigned to their fate. It was a fantastic day. And so, in the spirit of the game against the Titans, earlier this week, I contacted the great Beyond about this particular game. He must have still been in a Thanksgiving food coma because I just received his response a little while ago. Here is what the great Beyond had to say. You've come asking for my help again. If you'd asked last week, I'd have told you the Raiders would get demolished yet again by the Chiefs, so maybe it's best that you leave me be. Who you got this week? The Titans. Again? Did the NFL do some realignment and put them in our division, the AFC West? We play them every single year. It's kind of weird. The thing about the Titans is there was a whole movie about how you aren't supposed to forget about them, but everyone always does. Their stupid little Sunbelt Conference uniforms and their boring style of play means that they're about the last team anybody remembers if they were to take a quiz that would ask them to name all the teams in the NFL. It's pretty fitting that they're named after a mythological creature, because nobody believes in them anymore. One of the reasons for the Titans' utter irrelevance is their long line of failed coaches. Jeff Fisher was their coach for 17 years. That's a really long time, and that's a tenure that's practically unheard of in today's NFL. But he was fired for pulling his 7-9 bullshit for too many seasons, whereupon he went to the Rams and tried to ruin them too, and almost did. The Titans have since trotted out a series of colossal failures as coaches, such as Mike Munchak and Mike Mularkey and Ken Whisenhunt and Mike Vrabel. Apparently, to be named Titans head coach, your name has to be Mike, and you have to be really mediocre. Now, Vrabel, their current coach, is the best of the bunch, with a career win-loss record with the Titans of 9-7. That's not a very big sample size, but it's still better than the other guys they've got. But are any of these guys that they've hired guys you would look at and say, oh, he is the savior of the franchise? No, not in my mind. I wouldn't trust Mike Mularkey to run a Denny's, much less a multi-million-dollar football team. The New York Knicks do a better job hiring coaches than the Titans do. Now, the Titans used to be the Houston Oilers, but they had to change their name when they moved to Nashville because oil fields are actually successful. The Titans the actual Titans in mythology were the result of one guy named Kronos who had sex with his mom and then had a bunch of degenerate, psychopathic, inbred kids. That fits Tennessee perfectly, so the name fits. They could have called themselves the Nashville Upper Middle Class Diabetics and been just as accurate. The liquid inside these sideline containers in Nashville isn't Gatorade, it's pure medical-grade insulin. Now, in 1862, Nashville was the first Confederate capital to be seized by the Union Army, and in keeping with that tradition, the Titans haven't mounted a defense there since. I can name exactly 3 members of the Titans defense this year. They'll draft 5 more defenders and a bust wide receiver next year like they always do, and I will promptly forget all their names because they don't matter and they never will matter. What they won't do, however, is draft a quarterback. Ryan Tannehill right now is playing like a golden god, and he's showing just how inept Miami was and how crappy they are to have wasted his career like they did. And so the Titans will probably franchise tag him or sign him to an extension or something, as they should. Now, Marcus Mariota will probably retire from football and start a business manufacturing geometric adult toys because he knows how to be a square peg in a round hole. The success of Lamar Jackson this season shows what a bunch of incompetent gasbacks the Titans are, because there's nothing Lamar Jackson can do that Marcus Mariota can't do, and anybody who watched him play at Oregon would tell you that. It's just that John Harbaugh is a lot more flexible and adaptive than the Titans brass, who are boomers to the core. Exotic Smash Mouth is an idea that can only be brought to you by the same people who thought Agent Orange would be a great way to get rid of some trees. They tried to turn Mariota into Kurt Warner when they could have just let him be Steve McNair. Aaron McNair was a master of the shotgun offense, but he was terrible with the handgun defense. Mariota used to throw to Walker, but after playing for the Titans for so long, now he has to use a Walker. The Raiders have been blown out for 2 weeks in a row. The Titans are a weird team that can beat anybody or get their butts kicked by anybody on any given week, but the Titans right now are playing lights out with Tannehill, and I do expect that to continue this week. The Titans will win 30-20. So that is the prediction of the Great Beyond for this week. The Titans will win, the Raiders will lose at home, and fall a little bit farther back in the playoff hunt, so we will see if that happens. So thank you for watching this video tonight, and please like and subscribe and share and do all the normal things you would do when you like a YouTube video. Thank you very much, and we will see you next week.